I was on Instagram and I was seeing so many of my comrades and friends posting that they were making phone calls in Georgia and had spent hours over the weekend doing so. This is what I'm talking about. This is organizing. We got to focus on the big picture, the big fights, the critical wins. Those are my resolutions for 2021. And that is why here on this show, we spend time discussing strategy and tactics, why we delve into process, how to cultivate solidarity, nuance, building alliances. Right now, we can see two great illustrations of this. First, of course, is Georgia today. We want Medicare for All, a Green New Deal, a stimulus plan that actually gets relief to working people, right? Of course. None of that happens unless Democrats win both Senate races in Georgia today, both. And it is amazing how much a difference one vote makes. We saw that in this last election in Georgia itself. If Democrats win both Senate races, the balance will be 50-50, and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris gets to cast the tie-breaking votes. With Mitch McConnell, the fight is over before we start. With Democrats in charge, we have a fighting chance to actually win Medicare for All, a Green New Deal, and real help for working people and poor people across this country. They will be forced to answer to us, something that Mitch McConnell doesn't have to do. He just ignores us. They'll be forced to answer to us like they were forced to answer to us with PayGo in Congress. That will be when our differences with other Democrats are fair game. That will be the time we take on Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema and the actual votes that we need to move to win. But we need to get our agenda in the door, which is not open right now. It is locked. Mitch McConnell is peering through and laughing at us on the other side. So today it is crucial to vote for two Democratic senators from Georgia, which brings us to the other great example of being smart about the process. Congratulations to the Squad and the House Progressive Caucus. With their limited power and leverage, they got Nancy Pelosi to change the rules of the House so it will be much easier to pass Medicare for All, a Green New Deal, and a real stimulus. They got rid of this rule called PayGo for legislation on the environment, health, and other recovery steps from the pandemic. This is extraordinary. PayGo was first adopted when George H.W. Bush was president. It stands for pay as you go. In other words, if you want to spend money now, say on building a clean power grid, you have to first cut something else or raise taxes. This strangles big ideas in their cribs. The big ideas we need passed now because of the COVID crisis and the economic crisis. Getting rid of PayGo clears the way for investing in the future and rooting out the exacerbating injustices in every single community in this country. To pay for health and environment measures that pay back, not as we go, but after we spend. Without this change, Medicare for All and a Green New Deal would be killed by the rule before even getting a vote. No forcing the vote. It would be killed by a rule before even getting to a vote. Repealing PayGo had to get done to make a vote on Medicare for All, a Green New Deal, and more stimulus relief possible in the House. And winning those two Senate seats in Georgia today is crucial to make passage in both houses of Congress possible. But at a crucial moment, there was a strategy out there to waste our time on a distraction and a divide and conquer tactic that preyed on hurting Americans who are rightfully invested in Medicare for All and in our progressives in Congress. But what was this for? I don't know. And I'm sure, maybe we'll learn more in the coming weeks. I don't know why this tactic was used. It was a predatory tactic. But there was no access point in this tactic. And that was what was strange. We have no Medicare for All without the Senate and ridding PayGo. So let this be our very first lesson of 2021. Learn the process. What's the second lesson of 2021? Well, how about if you are planning to threaten and extort a state election official, make sure your call isn't getting recorded. Or maybe the election is that people don't change. Now, this is very definitely not a personal advice podcast. Who knows? Maybe there are guys out there who want to change. But Donald Trump absolutely has never changed. It was 45 years ago last month that he walked into the office of Dick Ravitch, who was a state economic development official at the time in New York, and demanded a tax break for a hotel he was building. Ravitch remembers Trump raising his voice and threatening him. Sound familiar? It's the same Donald Trump who called the Georgia Secretary of State Saturday to demand he find enough votes to reverse Biden's victory in Georgia, as if finding votes, not counting them, was just the most normal thing for a state official today. From the beginning to what we hope is now the end, this guy, Donald Trump, has been an anti-democratic thug, bullying his way to whatever he can take. His first real estate deal, he bullied his way through and used political favors to get there from his father. Tomorrow, he makes one more outrageous demand: to overturn the Electoral College vote because of allegations of voter fraud that he invented and were spread on his conspiracy theorist channels. Tomorrow is that vote. Trump's behavior isn't so much shameful as utterly predictable. What's shameful are the Republicans in the House and Senate who are going along with this tomorrow and supporting his challenge to the electoral vote because they want some future with this right-wing populist movement that Trump has grown and built. They have embraced Trump essentialism, that it doesn't matter who you hurt or what you destroy so long as you get what you're asking for. Remember Donald Trump? When asked how he got a 40-year tax break on one of his projects, he replied, quote, "Because I didn't ask for 50. Yeah, it is all so grubby and soulless. And as the great Tom Robbins says, Donald Trump's core skill is monetizing politics. Keep that in mind. Who else is out there monetizing politics? He didn't invent that. It is a tactic that demagogues use. They prey on people's vulnerabilities and anger and pain and the circumstances and maybe even a lack of leadership. And they swoop in. And they don't just swoop in for their agenda. They swoop in to build different coalitions. They swoop in to push forward the future of their demagoguery. Demagogues have always existed, and they've always used the same tactics. We have new technology out there. And of course, that technology does make it easy to monetize anger and frustration and prey on folks. And the algorithm does so as well. Thanks for watching and listening to The Nomiki Show. But remember to click like and subscribe on YouTube, and please share on social media. If you're not already a patron, please join us for as low as $5 a month on patreon.com/The Nomiki Show for early and special content. That investment makes a huge difference. We are not corporate media raking in the dough. It's really you guys that are keeping us going. So please consider being a patron. And to our current patrons, thank you so much. We are incredibly grateful to you. We also now have swag. So check us out on thenomikishow.com to get your mugs, your totes, and your stickers.